Hello students, welcome to part 2 of lesson 17, Sources of Pollution. In this video, we will be talking about the various sources of water pollution, soil pollution and radioactive pollution. We begin with sources of water pollution, and first we have domestic sources. Human beings use water for drinking, cooking, bathing, washing clothes, gardening, recreation, etc. The discharged water has soluble and insoluble organic and inorganic matter. It includes detergents, toxic heavy metals, and even pathogens. Pathogens are any microorganisms that can cause disease. Most of the used water is drained out through municipal drain and poured into a river or lake. Domestic wastewater that is mixed with other wastes such as plastic, detergents, animal dung, and human fecal matter is known as municipal waste. Now, let us understand the meaning of the word eutrophication. Domestic sewage, organic waste from industries, and runoff from agricultural fields can discharge nutrients like phosphates into water bodies. Algae feed on these nutrients and grow. Sometimes they may totally cover the water surface and block sunlight. They release toxins in water and also decrease the oxygen content in water. This excessive growth of algae in water bodies is called eutrophication. Eutrophication often leads to the loss of aquatic life in stagnant water bodies. As you can see in this diagram, this is an agricultural field in which fertilizer has been put. The water from these fields goes into a nearby water body, and the water consists of phosphates from the fertilizers. So the algae get plenty of nutrients and they feed on these nutrients, and as a result they grow very rapidly, often covering the whole surface of the water body. As a result, the sunlight gets blocked and the oxygen content in the water also reduces. As a result, there is loss of aquatic life in that particular water body. Next we have industrial sources of water pollution. The industrial wastes are the most harmful of all water pollutants as they contain toxic metals like lead, mercury, zinc, copper, chromium and cadmium. They also contain toxic non-metals like arsenic, acids, alkalis, cellulose fibers, coloring and bleaching materials, petrochemicals, etc. These pollutants are continuously discharged into the water bodies. The presence of industrial waste in the water makes it unsuitable and harmful for drinking, bathing, cooking, washing, irrigating crops, etc. The main industries which can pollute the water are pharmaceuticals, heavy chemicals, pulp and paper, textile processing and printing units, food processing, metallurgical units, etc. Now we will talk about some heavy metals which are released by industries into water bodies. And we begin with lead. Lead can enter water bodies from many sources like the mining and smelting of lead-bearing ores and metals, lead plumbing, paints and ceramic glazes, and the disposal of lead-zinc batteries in the garbage. Here, smelting is the process of extracting a metal from its ore by a process involving heating and melting. Lead plumbing refers to water pipes and water faucets used in homes and other places which might have lead in them. And ceramic glaze is a thin layer of liquid which is put on a piece of pottery and becomes hard and shiny when the pottery is heated in a very hot oven. Then we have manganese. Manganese is an important mineral used in the manufacture of steel. Nearly 9 kg of manganese is required for manufacturing 1 ton of steel. Mercury. Mercury is used in plastic and chemical industries. Once mercury is released into the environment, it can be converted to a biologically toxic form called methyl mercury by microorganisms found in soil and water. So, methyl mercury is the most common form of mercury found in aquatic environment. Now we begin with the sources of soil pollution, and first we have chemical fertilizers. Nowadays, heavy doses of chemical fertilizers are added in the soil to increase the agricultural production. The chemical fertilizers contain potassium, phosphorus, and nitrogen, which are important plant nutrients. The excessive use of chemical fertilizers causes soil pollution. It has been estimated that about 20% of the total chemical fertilizers applied are not absorbed by the crops. The excessive use of chemical fertilizers not only reduces the fertility of soils, but also harms the aquatic life in the nearby water bodies because it causes eutrophication. Next source of soil pollution is biomedical waste. The biomedical waste is generated in hospitals, clinics, and pathological laboratories. It includes bandages, blood-stained cotton, plastic pads, wool and body parts, syringes, metal needles, used bottles, discarded and expired medicines, chemicals, etc. Most of the biomedical waste is dumped with urban waste. The biomedical waste is toxic and infectious in nature. When the biomedical waste is mixed up with urban waste, it provides a breeding ground for the growth of pathogens which can affect human health. Such waste materials can pollute the soil. Biomedical waste can lead to parasitic infections. Materials that are contaminated with parasites might come from research institutions and laboratories. If these contaminated waste products are not disposed of properly, they can lead to parasitic infections. The intestinal parasites constitute the most serious soil pollution problems in the third world countries. Third world countries refer to poor countries and developing countries. Some diseases spread by biomedical waste are HIV, tuberculosis, pneumonia, influenza, hepatitis B and C, and meningitis, which is inflammation of membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord. The next source of soil pollution are pesticides. Nowadays, farmers use a variety of pesticides and insecticides to control the growth of pests, insects, and weeds on farmlands. This is mainly done to save the crops. But the pesticides remain active even after destroying their target. The pesticide residue can change the chemical properties of soil and accumulate on the soil permanently. Many times, these pesticides kill even useful insects and microorganisms in the soil. Most pesticides are non-biodegradable. These toxic materials can enter the plant products and ultimately cause harm to human beings. So, from the soil, the toxic materials enter plants, and when human beings consume these plants, they are affected by these toxic chemicals. And you can see in this picture also, this man is spraying pesticides on the crops, and you can imagine how toxic the chemicals must be because he has protected himself adequately by wearing a proper mask so that he does not inhale or take in these toxic chemicals by mistake. Now we come to the last topic, sources of radioactive pollution. And first we have natural sources. Natural sources of radioactive pollution are the solar radiations that consist of high energy cosmic rays, gamma rays, and ultraviolet rays. These are constantly coming from the sun towards the earth. The ozone layer in the atmosphere can absorb most of the harmful solar radiations. Therefore, cosmic rays are a major hazard in space, but they are not dangerous for organisms on Earth. Next, we have man-made sources of radioactive pollution. And first, we have X-ray waste. The X-rays help in diagnosing various types of ailments and skeletal disorders. For example, in this X-ray, you can see the broken bone very clearly. Cancer patients undergo radium and other isotope radiations. The X-rays can easily penetrate through genetic cells. Excessive and indiscriminate use of X-rays can cause damage to the internal organs in the human body. They can affect the chromosomes, resulting in mutations. Mutation is a change in an organism's DNA. Mutation can cause genetic disorder and even cancer. Radioactive fallout from nuclear power plants. Radioactive waste from atomic reactors are hazardous to living organisms. Even if radioactive waste is buried underground, it may escape into the surroundings. The nuclear power plants take all possible safety measures for their smooth working and are considered to be quite safe. But even a small lapse in the safety measures can be disastrous. The Chernobyl disaster is an example of that. The Chernobyl disaster occurred on 26 April 1986 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine, which was at that time in the Soviet Union. Today, after so many years, people are still suffering from various types of illnesses because of being exposed to radiation at that time. The children born in the area have genetic anomalies such as fused fingers or more than 5 fingers on hands and feet. Even the animals have suffered. As you can see in this picture, you can see the mutation which has taken place in this animal because of being exposed to radioactivity. The next man-made source of radioactive pollution are nuclear weapons. Nuclear explosions are being conducted by nuclear power nations to test the nuclear weapons. In these tests, uranium-235 and plutonium-239 are used for fission. Nuclear fission is the process in which an unstable atom splits into two or more smaller pieces that are stable and release energy in the process. These tests are an important source of radioactive pollution. The radioactive materials can spread through air over a large area, and this can harm living organisms for a long time. This is the picture of a nuclear test that was conducted in the Nevada desert by United States of America. Radioactive particles are carried away by winds to distant places. They are brought down by rain. Raindrops containing radioactive particles fall on earth and pollute the soil. From the soil, the radioactive materials reach water sources where the aquatic animals absorb and accumulate them through the food chain and pass them on to human beings. Here you can see the effect of radioactivity on the grass, trees, everywhere. The last source of radioactive pollution are radioactive isotopes. Radioactive isotopes are the unstable form of an element that emit radiation to transform into a more stable form. Radioactive isotopes are used in research laboratories and medicine. When the wastewater from these laboratories reaches the rivers, streams, lakes, etc. through the sewers, they cause water pollution. So here we have a list of radioactive isotopes that are used in research. Carbon 14, phosphorus 32, phosphorus 33, selenium 75, strontium 85, hydrogen 3 or tritium. And here is a list of radioactive isotopes which are used in medicine. Cobalt 60, iodine 131, carbon 14, carbon 11, sodium 24, thallium 201, technetium 99M. I conclude lesson 17 here. In today's video, we discussed the sources of water, soil, and radioactive pollution. Thank you and have a nice day.